And welcome to Stella's Mezza. On today's episode, I'm going to show you how to make some oven-baked honey barbecue chicken. This is a simple recipe that you can do at home in the warmth of your kitchen. All right, now for this you will need 3 to 3.5 pounds of chicken. That's a whole chicken that's been cut up into pieces, and you want to wash it nicely and pat it dry completely with some kitchen paper. All right, you'll also need some honey, and you want to get the pure honey, nothing imitation. We have here some unsalted butter, apple cider vinegar, salt, freshly ground black pepper, fresh lemon juice, garlic powder, onion powder, cinnamon powder, ginger, ground mustard for that tang, Worcestershire sauce, excuse the way I say that, and you need some ketchup. Any kind of ketchup will work. I also have here some liquid smoke. That's something you can get in the barbecue aisle next to all the barbecue sauces, and that's optional. Now you need some paprika, and I use a sweet paprika, and a bay leaf. As far as the equipment that you'll need, you will need a basting brush, and you're going to use that to brush your barbecue sauce over the chicken as it cooks. You'll need some kitchen tongs, and you'll need a baking sheet. You want to cover your baking sheet with aluminum foil and then set up over it a baking rack. All right, that's oven safe. If you don't have a baking rack, just bake your chicken directly on that baking sheet that's covered in aluminum foil. And I put aluminum foil there just for ease of cleanup. That way I don't have to scrub my baking sheet. All right, and you also need some cooking spray, which you will use to spray that baking rack. That way the chicken doesn't stick onto it as you bake it. Right, now you want to preheat your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. And then you want to season your chicken. You want to use salt and pepper and give it a generous amount of seasoning, because I don't think there's anything quite as boring as bland chicken. That just ruins the whole dish. So make sure you season it properly on both sides, the front and the back. And then once all the chicken pieces are seasoned, as you see here, you want to place the chicken pieces on that prepared baking sheet, and you want to put it skin side down like I'm doing here. Okay, you want to start off with the skin side touching either your baking sheet or the baking rack. And then once all the pieces are on there, you want to put it in the oven, let it cook for 45 minutes at first. Okay, and while that's cooking, you want to prepare the barbecue sauce. Over here I've melted over medium-high heat the butter that we had, and I'm just adding the ketchup into the pan. And you want to use a heavy bottomed pan, that way it doesn't burn on the bottom of the pan. I want to start with the wet ingredients. I have there the butter, I'm putting the ketchup in, next goes in the honey. And in the list of ingredients, I forgot to mention that you can use molasses. Now that is optional, but it does give a very good deep flavor to your barbecue sauce. Now to my Swahili speaking viewers, that is just liquid scaringuru. Now you see I'm giving it a good stir. You want to make sure that all that butter is incorporated. Now there is the molasses I was talking about. You want to add about a tablespoonful of it to your sauce. And you'll see the color of that sauce change. You see that? It gives it that deep darkness. That is beautiful, and it tastes very good as well. Just adds a depth of flavor to the sauce. Okay, and you want to give it a good stir. As you can see, that sauce is now come to a boil, and we want to keep it to a boil for around, you want to keep it here for around 5 to 8 minutes until it thickens. And at this point you want to taste to make sure everything's fine. If you need to add any more salt or anything, that's the point to do it. Now after that, you want to add your spices, your other dry ingredients, the ginger, the cinnamon, and all that. And over here I'd also added the bay leaf. I'm taking that out. Now that's just for flavoring the barbecue sauce, but you do not want to leave it in there. Now this recipe for the barbecue sauce makes 2 cups of barbecue sauce. You'll need only 1 cup to baste your chicken pieces. Now what I did is I put 1 cup in that white bowl that you see there. The other cup I put away in the refrigerator after it cooled, and I'll use it for my next batch of chicken. That'll keep for about a week in the refrigerator if put in a well-covered container. Now what I'm doing here is I'm just basting the chicken. I'm brushing it with that basting brush, and you want to do that to the top side first, okay? And then put it back in the oven. 20 minutes after that, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to flip your chicken over, brush it with some of that barbecue sauce. Now remember, after the first initial 45 minutes, you're going to cook your chicken in the oven again for 1 hour 25 minutes. And in that 1 hour and 25 minutes, you want to keep basting your chicken, which is what I'm doing here, every 20 minutes. Okay? And you baste it, put it back in the oven. After 20 minutes, you bring it out again, flip it over, baste the other side. And you keep doing this for the entire 1 hour 25 minutes until your chicken is well cooked. Just make sure you get all the parts, all the sides of the chicken that are facing you, okay? Even the parts that do not have the skin on, you want to make sure you get some of that sauce in there, and that just adds flavor to the chicken. And the reason we flip the chicken as we bake it is you don't want one side to cook more than the other side. You want it all evenly cooked. Now, after 1 hour 25 minutes, this is what your chicken should look like after you've been basting it every 20 minutes. You see, as you squeeze it with that, it's nice and soft still. And it has that beautiful char that looks like you cooked it in a barbecue grill, okay? You want that. That looks beautiful. And I wish you could smell the kitchen at this point. So I'm just plating it on my serving plate, but I'm going to take a taste. Now, the part that's tested for me is a chicken breast, because that's normally a little bit tougher than the dark chicken pieces, because it's a white part of the chicken. And I'm going to put that on my plate, and I'm going to use that to test to see if the chicken's done. It's supposed to be cooked all the way through. There's not supposed to be any pink inside. Okay, so I'm going to test that in a little bit. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to move my baking sheet over to the side. And I'm going to use oven mitts. Be careful not to touch that baking sheet with your bare hands because it's still very hot. Always safety first. So we're going to move this to the side. And then we're going to test that chicken breast that I have on the plate. All right. I'm going to just use a fork to cut into it or to pull it apart and see what it looks like. And I want a little bit of that charred part. I love that. It's very slippery, so I'm trying to hold on. Okay, look at that. There is no pink on the inside. It's done all the way through. And you can put some of that sauce that you did not use to baste, not the one you used to baste the chicken, the other one, that the other cup that you put away, you can use that to put in a little condiment bowl on the side and use that to serve it up. As you can see, it's nice, soft, tender, succulent, and everything you want a barbecue piece of chicken to be. Well, thank you so much for joining me this time. I hope you join me next time as I take your taste buds on another culinary safari. Thank you. Joining Stella's Mother.
Yeah, 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 yeah.